Welcome to 4C Radio. We are broadcasting from the Christ University Central Campus, Bangalore. 4C Radio is brought to you by Department of Media Studies, Christ University. For all who are looking for a platform that focuses on communities, commons, climate, and communication, this is the place to be. What's more, the station is run by the diverse community of students and dedicated faculty members. Tune in to experience hard-hitting interviews, fact checks, and myth-busting on-ground stories, campus news, and all the creative expressions of our community. When you think of Bangalore, the first thing that comes to mind is opportunity. But right behind that comes rent and rules. PG accommodations are more than just a temporary roof. They are a balancing act between what you can afford and what keeps you safe. Rising rents, annual hikes, endless safety checks, fingerprint scans at the door, cameras in every hallway. It's part of the unspoken deal when you choose PG life in this city. Student journalist Abidan dives into this crucial subject that not many talk about.
Every year, thousands of young people arrive in Bangalore with dreams and offer letters folded in their wallets. They come chasing a future in India's Silicon Valley, but what they find first is a PG. Cramped rooms, rising rents, and shared spaces become their first lesson in city life. According to the print, Bangalore has nearly 20,000 PGs, home to over 1.7 million students and professionals, most of them unlicensed, operating in the city's shadows. Let us listen to their stories. For many, a PG becomes their first home away from home. It's where routines are built and budgeting becomes a necessity. But as the city stretches upwards, so do the costs of staying here. In the middle of this is Chandramouli, a 42-year-old PG manager from Andhra Pradesh. Working with the Pelagia Group, he oversees multiple PGs across Bangalore and has seen how the landscape has shifted.
From 2-3 years, it's very competition here actually. Right. What happens now, sir? More buildings are coming, more PGs are coming. Everything depends upon the competition, everything is there. But we did not hike the prices for everyone. There is a percentage of every 3 years we make an agreement. According to that, we will give them. That is how the business is going on.
While some PGs respond to market pressure with annual rent hikes, others like Chandramouli's group choose a steadier path. A 3-year agreement offers tenants a rare predictability in a city where change is the only constant. At just 26, Priyadarshini, a Bangalore native, handles all the operations at Sudarshan Luxury Living Ladies PG and talks about the safety of it in SG Palya. She says that
even if it is a PG or a house rental, we have this 5% of increment atara irutte yearly increase antu idde irutte. We increase because of the cost expenditure ಹೊರಗಡೆ taxes yearly there will be increase in cost, changes in cost. Based on that, rent will vary yearly. So we have this outside expenditures alva.
Right.
So rate will not remain, the cost will not remain the same.
Correct.
So it will change. So as per the change in time, so cost varies. We have 24/7 security, 24/7 CCTV surveillance plus human security who will be here.
Right.
And we have this face ID. So whoever are registered under that, only our guests can enter. Nobody else can enter inside and only our staffs can enter.
For Priyadarshini, rising costs aren't just numbers, they're a reflection of the times. In a city that never slows down, even security comes with a price tag. Deepak Kumar, who is just 24 but already navigating the complex layers of PG management in Bangalore, breaks it down with clarity. In a city built on rentals, even PG buildings are often leased properties themselves.
Plus, इधर जितना भी building
The buildings you see around here are rented and not owned. Even the owner of this PG pays rent. Due to facilities like elevators and gyms in these buildings, we have to increase the rent.
So it's not just about square footage, it's the elevator, the gym, the internet router on every floor, each adding invisible weight to the rent slip. On the other side of the equation are tenants like Partha, a 20-year-old student from Nepal who's been calling Bangalore home for the last 3 years and manages her own expenses.
I have like this thing, like when your parents send money, just save some, at least 500 you save per month, then you'll have like some money, like just don't use it. And I think if you take money in cash rather than GPay, I think your money will be saved. So that's how I cope up with the expense. Like I just save some money.
In the busy markets of Bangalore, where there's always something new to see or buy, it's hard not to give in. Whether it's a thrift store or a phone shop, the city constantly tempts you to spend a little more than usual. Aditya Singh, an 18-year-old from Noida who moved to Bangalore just 2 weeks ago, knows the feeling all too well.
Yeah, expenses, there are a lot. And since I'm from outside Karnataka, I'm not able to bargain properly as well. So being a student, it's hard, but we have to keep our savings as well. It's a challenge for us, and we are learning few things like how to save our funds. With self-control, like we go to the market, we see a lot of things to eat, we see a lot of things to buy, but we just control ourselves that no, we don't have to, since the rates are also high.
For Aditya, restraint isn't just about saving money, it's about learning to live with less, to wait and to prioritize. And then there are those like Mithun Sanjay, a 22-year-old MBA student from Coimbatore who's lived in Bangalore long enough to notice even the smallest changes, like how chai that once costed 10 rupees is now 15.
I'm living in a flat, 2 BHK flat. Actually, when I came first to Bangalore, in my UG, I used to get 20,000 starting. So for the 3 years, I got 20,000 every year, monthly. Once I came to do my PG, now I'm getting 25,000 every month. So there is so much price changes in happen in Bangalore. And then be it from dosa or chai. When I came here, the chai was 10 rupees, now it's 15 rupees.
Mithun's experience captures a city in transition, changing one rented flat, one PG rent hike at a time. For Bangalore's youth, adapting means calculating every rupee, tackling soaring PG rents, and carving out a life in a city that tests their resilience at every run.
At the end of the day, PG life is a trade-off. You pay not just for a bed, but for safety, convenience, and a little bit of peace in a city far away from home. For most of us, PG life isn't just about finding a place to stay. It's about figuring out how to stay safely, affordably, and somehow still feel free. The next story is from SG Palya. There was a time when the sound of looms was everywhere. The steady click-clack of threads turning into saris, into stories, into someone's pride. But now that sound is fading. Power looms replaced hand looms. Rising rents, new buildings, and the weaving that once kept this community alive is slowly disappearing. Student journalist George Thomas takes us to these lanes to tell a story about a world that's still holding on to its craft, its memories, and its identity, even as everything around it changes.
This episode weaves together the stories of sari weavers from SG Palya, stories of quiet displacement, of fading rhythms, and of the silent struggles behind every thread they spin. Once a vibrant center of craftsmanship, the looms of SG Palya are slowly falling silent. Known for their colorful saris and the rhythmic clickety-clack of weaving, the small corner in South Bangalore is now a shadow of its former self. But for me, a 22-year-old journalism student, what began as a curious Sunday walk soon turned into a journey of rediscovery. It was difficult to determine where the sound was coming from. When I peeped through an open window, I saw people weaving saris, just like the ones I give my mother. That moment brought back memories of my childhood trip to Rajasthan, where I first fell in love with the weaving industry.
I was born and raised in SG Palya and have been working here for 35 years. This is not the place that I saw years back. Urbanization has made SG Palya change a lot.
The transition from handlooms to power looms has come at a cost, not just financially but culturally. There were around 25 weaving centers spanning from the nearby places opposite the present-day Nexus shopping mall to Balaji Nagar. But now, sadly, around 9 of them are still functioning.
The industry in SG Palya and the areas nearby started years back. There were around 20 weaving centers, but most of them are dysfunctional now. I started this job when I was in class 3 and I don't know anything other than this. So it forces me at this stage of 70 despite ill health and lower income.
It's not just nostalgia. SG Palya has undergone rapid changes over the past few years. It has made life harder for the weavers. Rising cost and noise complaints from the new residents, mostly students in PGs, have driven many out.
Due to the noise generated by the power looms, many PG residents started to complain. They filed police reports and some of our friends had to leave the place where they were born and brought up. We have just one power loom machine and even that makes a lot of noise. If all the power looms in this area were running, the noise would be unbearable.
Malesh looked at his withered hands. Even as his family pleaded with him to retire, he said he wouldn't. It is just because his heart lays there, by the loom. As the clickety clacks of the looms fades, so does the identity of a community. These are likely the last generation weavers in SG Palya.
Most of us believe that this will be the last generation of weavers in our families. The younger generation is not at all interested in continuing this work because it pays very little. Many of us have educated our children so that they can find better jobs with stable income. For example, my son is educated and won't take up this job.
SG Palya saris once spoke of pride, precision, and artistry. Today, the story is one of struggle and relentless efforts to survive. The sari weaving industry is more than just a livelihood. It is the rhythm of our culture. Its influence stretches far beyond the loom, embraced even by artists and musicians who hear its beat. The renowned musician T.M. Krishna once paid homage to this legacy in a deeply moving moment. He sang a Nottuswaram in Carnatic music and sang with the gentle, meditative rhythm of a hand loom beside a 96-year-old weaver named Ayya from Chettinad. In that duet of voice and loom, art and craft came together. Two lives, two legacies, bound by the threads of memory and music. As the looms slow down and hands retire, who will preserve these threads of history before they fade away for good?
That was a glimpse into a world that's slowly fading, a story of craft, resilience, and the threads of a community holding on to its identity. There is much to discover about our surroundings in SG Palya and Kurmangla. But believe, there are many stories that we would like to share from our campus itself. Among thousands of students who spend their formative years here, some are made of something special, like Asmita. Asmita has been making waves in the swimming pool world with her impressive performances. Student journalist Rosarin Maria Joseph interviews Asmita about her journey and what drives this athlete to excel in swimming and the studies.
What sparked your interest in the sport?
Well, I started swimming when I was 6. So the thing is that my mom and dad, they forced me to get into the pool. I used to cry a lot. It was a whole mess in the beginning, but slowly I fell in love with the sport. Then I moved to India, and here when I first came to Kolkata, we couldn't find any pools at the beginning. But then I was introduced to my first coach when I was about 8 years old. There it was just basic swimming, and then from that location, one of the other coaches from a different club, they saw me and they're like, why don't you come to my club? We're gonna see how well you perform here. So after that, slowly I changed to another club where I met my now coach. He's an ex-Navy coach, and he brought me up. He is the one who made me who I am right now. So I've been training under him since I was like approximately 11 years old. The spark in the beginning, the first time I won a medal was actually in an inter DPS competition when I was in class 6. I won the bronze medal. From then I had this wish in me to win more medals and to see the medal rack in my house get full and absolutely messy. It's so full right now that you can't differentiate between the medals right now. Seeing that every day before going to practice, after coming home from practice, that really drove me to pursue it even more better over the years.
Nice, very nice. Balancing academics and sports can be like literally very difficult. What are the challenges you face there?
The biggest challenge is time management and the fact that you get really tired after practice. Until class 10, my mother was a huge support for me. She helped me prepare everything for my academics along with swimming. In class 10, unfortunately, COVID hit, so I had a setback in my swimming. After that, in class 11, I took science, so I originally thought that I would not be able to pursue swimming that year. But fortunately, that year itself, in class 12, the most crucial year for, I guess, students my age, I got selected for the national games, and I did not have the option to not swim back then. I decided that since I want to win medals at the national games and I also want to perform well in my academics, I realized that that should be my goal and I should prioritize when the time comes. Like when I'm at home, I will prioritize academics. When I'm at the pool, I'm going to prioritize that. I'm not going to defer from my track until I reach my goal. And I got my medals at the national games and many other events in that year, and along with my boards, I performed really well.
If I'm not wrong, it's Asmita's goal to become a scientist. So tell us about your goal, and with that, your passion all been taken together. Like, how do you manage that?
My passion or my wish to become a scientist started after my first internship in my first year. I had exposure to laboratory settings. Our department fortunately gave us the opportunity to conduct undergraduate research. From then, my dreams of becoming a scientist really amped up. And we had to go through several rounds of interviews. And alongside that, I told my head of the department that, sir, I'll also be swimming right now. So how am I supposed to manage it? But fortunately, he was very supportive. He told me that whenever required, you can go for your practice and we'll help you manage both. So that's what I did for my second year. Now I'm in my third year. I'm mostly focusing on my academics and research right now because I want to apply for a master's and a PhD later on. So that takes a lot of preparation work. So that's what I'm focusing on right now.
Picking up all this, I think, very serious notes of being a passionate swimmer to want to become a scientist. So what advice would you give to the young aspiring swimmers who look up to you as a role model?
I would say that don't stress out too much about it. If you stress out about it, you're going to start overthinking. Just go with the flow. What is happening? Everything will happen at a specific time if you put in the effort. Just keep on practicing, keep on working towards your goals, and you will eventually get back what you have put into the sport.
Okay, as you mentioned about stress, I think your journey hasn't been without any challenges. So how do you overcome setbacks and maintain your mental toughness?
I've found that talking to people really helps, no matter it be your friends or your family or your coach. Keeping your feelings and keeping your everything you've been stressed about inside does not help you, nor does it help the people who love you at all. So going to people, talking to them about your problems, sitting down with them, finding why you're stressed, working on that really helps in the long run.
Last but not the least, what are your immediate and long-term goals like you want to take up?
Right now, I would like to have the current research project I'm working on published in a really good journal. And I have my Khelo India University Games coming up. So I'll be practicing for that. I hope I'm able to give a good timing along with balancing my research work. And in the future, I would obviously love to get my PhD and work as a scientist in the field I want to pursue.
Asmita, thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story with us today. Your dedication to swimming and academics is truly commendable.
That was a story of discipline, balance, and the drive to keep moving forward. And just like that, we are reminded that every dream, no matter how big, starts with showing up again and again. After much food for thought, what connects every student on campus? Actual food, the unofficial highlight of every college day. Whether it's a cup of chai between lectures, a quick dosa run, or hunting for the best lunch spot, food is at the heart of campus life. So, if you're a fresher still figuring out where to eat, here is our food critique Pratyusha Roy taking you to an interesting food trail. Bon appetit!
Good morning. I'm Pratyusha Roy, a Master's Media and Communication Studies student here at Christ. So campus food is what I'm going to talk about. Starting with Nandini's. And no, it is not a person, but the most popular tea and coffee place here at Christ. Well, it's a to-go for the people to stay awake through the long back-to-back lectures. And I mean, who doesn't like a cup of coffee in the morning?
Even Nandini has good coffee, yeah. And it's worth the price also.
So it's a good thing that we have that kind of an option where we can also try those food. And I like all these canteens I've tried. I've liked most of the food, so I'm comfortable with them.
See, if you have a long day ahead and you're on an empty stomach and you really need a proper charge, like a proper charge, instead of going and getting a normal coffee, I say go to Nandini, black coffee, the big one, 20 rupee one, unsweetened. And you're in first class studying psychology without sleeping.
Now for all the health freaks and gym enthusiasts, there's Freshiteria just near Nandini's. Whether it be fruit juices, salad or even smoothies, all of it and more is available there. So now that I'm visiting Freshiteria, let me just talk to a few students about what they feel about their favorite food at campus.
We spend while eating. I think your food is the biggest expenditure. So I mostly like to prefer eating in my PG at least once. Because
what is your name?
My name is Udit Nair and I'm 20 years old.
Alright. Yeah. So what food in campus is your favorite?
I think I would say my favorite food in the campus would be Michael's Corner's Bun Samosa. It used to be Mexitos from Christ Bakery, but it became Michael's Corner Bun Samosa because first thing there, Bun Samosa is different from Mingo's. Second thing, they put pudina chutney in the plate as well. So adds to the flavor, yeah.
Now let's move on to the next venue, which is Kiosk. This is for the people who feel super hungry and famished in the morning and they want a proper breakfast, like a full meal, okay? So Kiosk is near Block 2 and you get idlis, dosas and full platter breakfast like puliyogare, bisibelevat and all of it is just too good. Personal favorite is the dosa. Oh my god, the set dosa there is to die for. Now for a quick grab to munchies like french fries, chicken popcorn or even a plate of Maggi, you might want to visit the Mingo's Cafe, which is available at a lot of places in our college, okay? However, the most popular dish here at Mingo's is the jungly fungli. Sounds strange. Do you want to figure out what it is? Maybe try and tell us. Now, what about lunch? Usually the Central Block Gourmet and the Block 4 Cafeteria are the most crowded during lunch hours. Now let's ask a few people at the Gourmet about what they like to eat at the lunchtime or what their favorite food is. Okay, so what are your names?
My name is Tejaswi. My name is Dempsey.
Okay, so what is your favorite food here in campus?
The chicken biryani from that stall, the corner around there. I like Mingo's chicken roll.
So what are your names?
Nandana,
Ganvi,
Nitya,
Anupama.
Okay, so it's been 2 weeks that you're here at campus. What did you like about the food here?
I have been in Christ from my PU, my degree and my B.Ed as well. Michael's Corner, I like the biryani there. Mingo's and the masala dosa in Christ Bakery and all the samosas.
The lava cake from Michael's Corner is also okay. I feel there's a lot of options for everybody and their liking, and I feel that is a good thing that they want everybody to have something to eat, and yeah, I feel like it's good.
Okay, so by now you have heard Michael's Corner 10 times. Let me tell you what it is all about. People love the biryani there. People love the meals there, whether it be the chicken rice, whether it be the veg rice, whether it be the veg biryani or multiple lunch options, which is also very inexpensive in comparison to what Christ offers you and what Bangalore offers you, of course. Also, the pork rice there is apparently very popular, so anybody who's a non-vegetarian who eats pork, it's a must visit. After some good food, who doesn't crave for desserts? And in such a situation, the Christ Bakery is a perfect suit. Chocolate pastries to ice creams, it's a dream destination for anyone with sweet tooth. Now that I've taken you through the campus and the food, tell me what I've missed. In case you are new here and you have some other priorities or preferences or something which you really love but you think is underrated, let me know and let's have another discussion about it. Till then, stay tuned to 4C Radio to know more about life at Christ.
That was just a glimpse into food culture of campus. And trust me, there is always more to explore, more to taste, and more favorites waiting to be discovered. So go on, grab a bite, share it with friends, and make memories over good food. And that brings us to the end of today's episode on 4C Radio. From the hustle of PG life to the fading sounds of looms in SG Palya to the inspiring world of young athletes, and of course, the delicious food stories from campus. We have shared voices, experiences, and stories that makes this community what it is. But this is just the beginning. There are more untold stories waiting around the corner, from the commons to the campus, from the climate to the community. This episode was edited by Akhil, Aditya, and illustrated by Vernika. And I'm Rishika Bhatt signing off for now. Stay tuned because 4C Radio is your space. Until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep listening.